Okay, guys, the other day we talked about calf work, and we went over seated calf raises, the importance of seated calf raises, and why the knee has to be in a bent position in order to work certain muscles. I had a question from someone asking what they should do if they don't have a seated calf machine. Now, there's a couple movements you can do, but this is probably the easiest to teach without actually being there. So I'm going to show you this movement here. This is a seated calf raise with dumbbells. It's basically the same thing. The only difference is you're using dumbbells. Now, with this, make sure the dumbbell is towards the end of the knee, towards the end of the thigh, almost on the knee. And the reason being is the further back you are, the less the calf is going to be affected. All right, so make sure when you're setting this weight up, the weight is towards the end of the thigh. All right, so you go into your seated position here. I like to get my feet set first. You can see that my feet are behind the knees just a little bit. You don't want too much, but you also don't want the feet out in front. All right, so the feet should be back just a little bit here, like so. Now, you set your feet first, then grab your weights. We grab the weights, again, we want them towards the end of the thighs, and now we're here. And now we're up, and then back down. Once the heels touch the ground, go right back up. Squeeze the calves to the top, and then come down controlled. Really good substitute for the seated calf machine. It's also a movement you can go heavy on. I like to do higher reps with calf work, so I tend to be in the 15 to 20 rep range with most of my calf work. And you can see it's basically the same thing. You're basically doing a seated calf raise. The only difference is you don't have a machine. Instead, you're using the dumbbells. And that's a nice little change of pace if you do have a seated calf machine. It's a nice, hits the calves just a little bit differently. And I'm a big believer in using free weights for anything. So, because with the free weights, you have to stabilize the weight rather than allowing the machine to do all the work, all the stabilization work. So whenever you're using a dumbbell versus a machine or a barbell versus a machine, you have to stabilize the muscles rather than the machine doing the stabilization for you. All right, so for that person that asked, I hope this helped. I will be going over movements later, but they are a little bit more complex. Realistically, you should probably have a coach making sure you're doing that movement correctly. All right, so I hope this helped. Check it out, and remember, be sure to follow and check back for more. All right, guys.